Dead or alive, this new 4K is coming with me.
Robocop is a 1987 film directed by Paul Verhoeven and stars Peter Weller, Nancy Allen, and Kurtwood Smith as a terminally wounded cop returns to the force as a powerful cyborg in a dystopic and crime-ridden Detroit. Arrow Video presents this film for the first time on native 4K with Dolby Vision and HDR10. What is up, everybody, and welcome back to Mid-Level Media Channel, your hub for everything physical media and entertainment. I am Ken, and I'm so excited today, guys, because I get to talk about one of my favorite films from my childhood, Robocop, in 4K, the latest Arrow Video release. And you know Arrow always does such a great job with these 4K releases, so I cannot wait to talk about this, guys. We're going to talk about the packaging, we're going to talk about the movie, we're going to talk about the features, we're going to talk about the transfer, the sound, all that good stuff. But before I get into it, I want to ask that if you are not yet a subscriber of the Mid-Level Media channel, hit that subscribe button for more great content. I do all kinds of stuff on this channel, mostly centered around the world of physical media. If you looked up Robocop 4K reviews and you saw this ugly mug, this crazy face, and you thought, hey, I'm going to click on this and see what this guy thinks of Robocop in 4K, then hit that subscribe button. I do all kinds of other stuff around physical media, Blu-rays, 4Ks. I do physical media updates. I do collection hauls. Just if you like Blu-rays and 4K, guys, you'll like this channel. If you like movies and keeping the art of collecting physical media alive, you will enjoy this channel. So hit the subscribe button. Also, be sure to like this video and comment down below if you have any thoughts on Robocop. Did you pick up this Arrow Video release? Did you grab the hard box? Did you grab the steelbook? What do you think of this movie? Is it a classic from your childhood? Let me know in that comment section below. Also, be sure to turn on those bell notifications for all future videos. So let's get into talking about the movie. I do have some thoughts on the film itself. I grew up with this film. Ironically enough, though, I remember watching the second one a lot more than I watched the first one growing up. It's not because I thought the second one was better. I think it's just because the second one came on TV more often, and I didn't have the first one on VHS or anything. So I remember watching these on TV, so they were like edited to hell, which is not a great way to watch Robocop. So I didn't get a chance to watch like the more unedited versions until I was like a teenager and I bought it on DVD. So yeah, grew up with this movie. Love this movie. It is a classic. I don't feel like Robocop really gets the respect that it deserves. It is an extremely smartly written sci-fi action film. And I think a lot of people look at it as just like, it's a robotic cop that's like killing people. And yeah, it's got a lot of action and it's got a lot of gore. But it's not, you know, like Terminator or Aliens, T2. It's not of that level. It's not of that caliber. And I'm not here saying that it's as good as Terminator 2. I'm not here to say that, or the first Terminator. But I think it's in that league, and I think it deserves to be in that conversation. It's just one of the better science fiction films, science fiction action films from that era. So I really love Robocop. And again, I watched this movie, I think about 5 years ago. I watched the Blu-ray copy that I got. And the Blu-ray at the time looked great, but again, we're going to get into the transfer of this in a second. So like I said, I did not buy that 2019 version, which also came in a hard box case. So this is the first time that I got to own this. Again, going back to the movie itself, this is a very smart social, economical commentary with undertones of consumerism and a modern money-driven society. Like there's just so many themes going on here, and it's all told through the lens of this like cyborg robotic killing machine. So the story itself is really simple, but all the themes and just undertones in this movie are just really smartly written and really dealing with what was going on in society at that point in time. And I think that was really the power of Paul Verhoeven and just what he could bring to the table as far as his direction and his filmmaking style at that time. He really balances those hard-hitting themes with such a satirical style, and it really just keeps the focus on the action and just the overall coolness of the movie itself, while also getting its point across as far as its messaging. Like Verhoeven at this point in his career, this was like his first big movie. This is where he really hit the mainstream as far as a filmmaker, because after this he would go on to do Total Recall, he would go on to do Basic Instinct, and then Showgirls, which, you know, you can say what you want about Showgirls, it is a big iconic movie, and then Starship Troopers, and then we got Hollow Man. He had such an incredible run, and it all started with Robocop. So I love the visual style of this movie. I just like the transition between like the old VHS style Like they'll show like the old TVs. And I also like, I don't know if they had the capabilities to make it look better, but with this transfer, this 4K transfer, everything looks great. Again, we haven't got to talk about the visuals yet, but everything looks great. But the TV sequences, like the box TV, when they're actually showing the news broadcasts and stuff and the commercials, like they all look super grainy and just super like old school, just like gritty. All the lines are going through them and stuff. It just looks like that old box set TV look, and it's like losing reception. Like I said, the lines are running through it. It has that old like gritty VHS style. So I like how they maintain that in this movie. But you have that old VHS style cutting from that to cinematic. Just the way it's edited is brilliant. Also going to the POV perspective of Robocop itself and just how they balance all those things. It's just pulled off to perfection. And I just love the scene where he wakes up and he's walking out of the lab. He's like, they're taking him out of the lab and you see him on the TV as he's walking. And you can see Robocop. That's the first time you see Robocop, and you can see him on the TV from the POV perspective, and just the way they pull that off, like the reveal of Robocop and the fact that that's the first time that you're seeing him, is just super cool. I love the way they do that. It's so incredible. And it just has such a style to it. Like there's really nothing else like Robocop. I need to watch Robocop 2 and 3 again and see if it maintains that same tone. I doubt that it does because it's not Paul Verhoeven that did those two, but it's just incredible. There's really nothing else like this movie in the way that it's pulled off. So also, you know, we talked about all the social commentary, the fact that it's really smartly written, all that stuff. How does it deliver on the action and the gore? Well, it delivers quite a bit. Like the gore sequences in this movie where they first shoot Murphy and his hand explodes and it's gushing blood, and then they shoot him in the legs. Like some of the kill sequences in this movie are just straight brutal. And that scene where the big robot's like shooting the guy and he's just like exploding with gunfire and blood's flying everywhere. It's really well done. All the gore, all the action in this movie. There's some really cool explosive scenes. There's some good like car chase sequences. The brutality and the violence and just the way it's pulled off in such an over-the-top fashion is like the Terminator wishes it had the violence and brutal nature that this movie does. It really goes for it. And like it almost to the point where it feels almost horrific, almost like it's horror at sometimes. Like there's a sequence scene at the end where this guy gets dumped in like this pit of acid, this pool of acid, or the acid gets dumped on him or something happens, and he starts to like mutate and he turns into this like mutation creature thing, and he's like walking through asking everybody to help him. It's so horrific. I love that sequence. Just the fact it doesn't really lead to anything, but the fact that they put that in there, I don't know, it just added that extra layer of tension and dread and horror into this movie, into this otherwise straight action film. So really enjoyed all that stuff. Again, there's nothing like it. Nothing like the tone and the feel of this movie. I can't sell that enough. Incredible writing. Performances are spectacular. Peter Weller as Robocop. Again, his performance in the beginning of the movie is good, but I love the performance when he becomes the actual Robocop, because he's coming to terms. He has his memory wiped, but he does have a wife and kid that he left behind. And just seeing him like emote through that robotic suit as he's coming to terms and he's remembering his wife and kids, it's really impactful. It's really emotional. It's just incredible what he can pull off with just the lower jawline of his face. You can just see his mouth. Of course, he takes off, you know, the helmet at a certain point in the movie, but great performance by him. I love everybody in this movie. Kurtwood Smith is such a great villain in this movie. He is absolutely scenery chewing in every single way. Like he is so great in this movie. He's super menacing. I love the characteristics and just some of the things that he says. He's just super nasty, super sadistic, and awesome. I love him as a villain in this movie. And yeah, the score is fantastic. I've been humming it all day since I've watched this movie. It's so loud and epic and just fits the tone perfectly. It's just super bombastic and out there. So I love this movie. I don't know if you guys can tell. This is really great. Just my experience rewatching it was so awesome. It's almost like, again, this movie's super underrated. It's almost like I forget how good it is before I watch it, but can't sell you enough on the actual movie. It's fantastic. I'll give it a 4.5 out of 5. Not quite perfection, but damn close to it. Don't really have any negatives to talk about either. So getting into this transfer, Arrow Video did it again. Do I even really have to talk about the transfer when I'm talking about Arrow Video? This is a native 4K transfer. It's Dolby Vision. It's HDR10. Arrow Video, they did such a great job. Like, just looking at Robocop, took a couple shots of the helmet and the face up close. Like, the level of detail in that jawline, and just when you see the metallic shine of his helmet, is just, it looks so good. It's so glossy. Like, you can just tell that it's just perfect and shiny and new. You can just really get that through this 4K transfer. And it's like, I didn't get to watch movies like this when I was a kid. You know, I watched all these movies on this shitty box TV, the VHS quality. That's the thing. Like, I still love movies. So obviously, like, I could still get the movie through that level of quality, but it just really adds something extra. So all of that looks great. I just, the scenery, like the Detroit setting, like the skyline of Detroit in the background, there's a lot of sequences that are like right before dusk, that are like at dusk, and you see the colors and stuff above the city skyline. All that stuff looks spectacular. All the backgrounds and the sceneries look great. Just the level of detail and the color that's there is just amazing. There's a lot of blood in this movie, a lot of gore, so you can definitely notice that red blood truly shine in that HDR. So I can't say enough good things about this transfer. I feel like it's to the point where I shouldn't even have to talk about Arrow Video. I just say Arrow Video 4K, it's one of the best of the year. They always do a great job. They never not do a great job with the 4K transfer. So that did not change here. Looks absolutely incredible. Getting into the sound, again, I don't have that full setup, but this is in Dolby Atmos. So again, Arrow Video did not skimp. They gave this the full sound treatment. So everything sounded good. Like I said, the score is fantastic. Just the sound design of this movie is incredible. Like, you hear the nicks as they shoot Robocop. You can just hear it bounce and ping off of his armor, and it all sounds fantastic. Again, just listening to it on a soundbar. Don't have that full setup. I will at some point. Getting into the packagings, this is why I say that Arrow Video is one of the best. Is it not enough that they do such spectacular work with their 4K transfers and restorations? But the packaging is second to none. Nobody does packaging like Arrow Videos. This freaking box, I can just beat it to death and nothing's going to happen to it. It is so hard and sturdy. It's just, I love this. I love the feeling of holding an Arrow Video box set. It's just not like anything else. You don't get that feeling when you hold a Scream Factory slipcover or a Criterion Digipack. You just don't get that same feeling. Like, Arrow Video, they put time and effort into this packaging, and it shows. So inside, again, I'm going to be cutting into a little unboxing at the table, so you're going to be seeing that as I do it. But you have the 4K case, the front and back. Again, I'm going to be showing off the specs. Inside, you have this cool little warning: this property protected by Robocop, and you have the Orion symbol at the bottom. You have these art cards inside, which are always cool additions. I love the artwork on the disc. You do get the director's cut in this set on one disc, and then you get the theatrical cut on another disc, and both of these are in 4K. So there is no Blu-ray disc, which is a little disappointing. I don't like this new move into not including the Blu-ray disc. So that is one knock I'll give against Arrow Video. But this set is actually pretty cheap as far as Arrow Video sets go. So I'll cut them some slack there, because it is excellent packaging overall. But yeah, you get both the cuts, and they're both 4K, and that's where the special features are on both of these discs as well. So yeah, some really great packaging with that. Again, it has reversible cover art. Inside, you do get a poster of the movie. You have both the Arrow Video artwork, and you have the original poster as well. So that's definitely cool. And you get this big booklet. Look, that's what I'm talking about, guys. They do such great work. Look at this thing. Look at that booklet. It is incredible, all the stuff they put into it. I wish I had time to read all of this. I would read every bit of it, and I just love it. I love the smell of it. I just love the Arrow Video smell of the booklet. It's incredible. I'm getting real weird with this video, and I hope you guys are here for it. But yeah, this is I think this is a sticker. Is this a sticker? I think this warning, that is actually a sticker. I'm going to put that on my laptop or something. I got to put that somewhere. That is awesome. I didn't know that. I don't see a lot of stickers with Arrow Video. At least off the top of my head, I don't remember a whole lot of them. So that's the packaging, guys. Getting into the special feature, this is loaded with special features. They're all from that 2019 Blu-ray release, so none of them are new, but they're in 4K now because they're on the 4K disc. So that is something new. But yeah, you get audio commentaries. You get 2 isolated score soundtracks, composer's original score and final theatrical mix. You do get something really cool if you don't want to have to watch both versions, because I always tend to go to and gravitate towards the theatrical version first because I want to see the film as it was intended to be viewed. But something really cool that this release does is it shows you side-by-side comparisons of the theatrical and the director's cut and exactly where those changes are. I don't know if every release does stuff like this or if this has been done in the past, but I thought this was a really cool little feature, because I'm always struggling when I'm watching directors and theatricals to pick out like what was the change in that. And both of these had the same runtime, so I was like, it can't be that much different one from the other. So I like that feature because I got to watch it and I got to see exactly what changes were made. It was very simple. It was just there was more blood in the director's cut, but you get tons of interviews on here, guys. Just all kinds of great stuff. Some makings of the movie. Like I said, none of these are new. They were all put out in the 2019 Arrow Video Blu-ray release of Robocop. So at the end of the day, guys, look, I got to give this release high marks, super high marks. They did an incredible job with Robocop. If you picked up the Blu-ray, and again, it's the same situation as the American Werewolf in London that I talked about. If you picked up the Blu-ray and you're happy with it and you got it in this hardbox case, maybe wait a month or two until they re-release it with just the regular case. Trying to pull that out, but with just this case, because they do that, and then it'll be cheaper, and then you can just get the 4K release if you don't need the box set, and you can just insert it in the box set that you have already. So that's the recommendation I would get. I can't imagine, again, I have not seen it. I've only seen that Blu-ray copy. It's definitely better transfer than that, but I cannot imagine this not being a much better version visually than that Blu-ray version that came out back in 2019, because that's just a 2K scan. It's not even a 4K scan. This is the real deal. Like, this is, it looks great. It looks immaculate. Absolutely recommend this in your collection. When I'm going through everything, packaging, transfer, movie is incredible. Audio, Dolby Atmos, the special features, especially if you didn't get it before, it's all new to you. I got to give this the highest marks. I'm giving it a 5 out of a 5 for an actual release. I will be leaving the link below for purchase if you guys decide to pick this up based on my recommendation. It is only $32.99 on Amazon, but if you go into Best Buy and you actually find it in your Best Buy stores, you can pick it up for $31.99. It was that price in stores this week, and they are in some Best Buy. So definitely hit up Best Buy, see if you can find it there first for $1 cheaper, if it's worth it to you to, you know, take the drive. Otherwise, just pay the extra $1 and get it off Amazon. But appreciate you guys watching. Please like, comment down below your thoughts on this. Which version did you get? Which version do you plan on picking up? Let me know in that comment section below. Also, be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Turn on those bell notifications. Follow me on all my social media accounts. Those links are in the description, and we'll see you next time.